first of all, one of the comments in the recent video was, what gear are we using
To film?
Yeah. So what have you got laid up today?
Today we're using the Z8 with the 51.2 at 1.2, of course, because that's why we
never moves off that in your hands,
never,
does it?
Rarely.
Rarely.
And then I've got the ancient old Z6 II with the sublime 28 1.4.
Sublime.
Because it's F mount. Sublime.
Sublime.
So
is that at 1.4, no doubt?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
on to the other fast glass.
is this like new lens day then?
Well, it's not so ours to keep.
Oh.
I don't think, probably.
Somebody is...
Yeah, so PerGear, a firm I've never heard of before, lens manufacturer, messaged us and said, well, do you want to try out this lens for us? Because they love our channel, of course.
Of course.
And I said, yeah, send it. And then
it's a Nikon Z mount?
It's Nikon Z mount, 35 1.4 full frame lens.
Nice. And it's got your favourite clicky aperture ring, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. They are very clicky, if you hear it. Click, click, click.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice click.
That's
the
a
feel
nice
going
click.
on there.
You appreciate stuff like that.
And it's quite firm as well.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Tight.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the handling of it already. So it's... I was going to do it.
That's not very good handling, that was.
So that the size of it is quite small.
Yeah, it is.
It's metal construction. I'm not sure if it's weather sealed. Probably not.
Yeah, but it's got enough heft to it to know that it's a decent.
Yeah, and I was using it
construction.
when I was walking around town with it, with my ZFC. I could just almost put it in my pocket. It was, it was that small.
And on your ZFC, it would be a 50mm.
Yeah, and for
effective focal length.
For street, I found 50 is too long, really.
Yeah,
for street.
Yeah.
So then I put it on I think I put it on the Z6, and that's back to 35 then. And it's really enjoyable, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not used to manual lenses. I used
so no autofocus then?
No autofocus.
Okay.
That's the one thing drawback with it, I think, because I'm used to autofocus, and so getting used to a manual lens, there's a massive steep learning curve, I think. So I was using focus peaking.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a bit not always great.
No.
Focus peaking. But what I also try is those hyperfocal things on it.
Hyperfocal markings.
Yeah.
Zone focusing.
Zone focuses. So I did that walking around town.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not used to that, but I quite enjoyed it. So really, I was comparing it to my Viltrox 23 1.4.
Is that a DX?
A DX. Ah. It's the equivalent.
So effectively
of a 35.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, on the sharpness tests, it's a lot softer than my Viltrox lens.
Right.
Wide open. I mean, strangely, when you stop down with this lens to even f2, it doesn't improve much.
Oh, okay.
But it's without cropping in, the sharpness is okay. It's usable.
Right.
But it doesn't get sharp until at least 2.8, maybe even f4, before it gets sharp compared to the modern glass we're used to now.
But as we've said before, sharpness isn't everything, though, is it?
No, it's not. As long as it's sharp enough.
Yeah, and it's got a nice look to it.
Yeah. And as you can see here, it creates a really interesting effect here. Really weird. I'm not sure I've seen anything like that before.
Which is it?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? So I think it's gone down to £90 now, £95 they've reduced it to, which is a bargain. Yeah. I mean, you'd struggle to get a Z mount lens cheaper than that.
35mm 1.4.
Yeah, exactly. And so the Viltrox lens is £250.
Right.
So, it's over twice the price, isn't it? So that you're kind of paying for what you get there, I think, with that.
Yeah.
But there's other things. So it's heavily distorted.
Right.
Especially up close. The closer you get to the lens, it's really distorted. It's all over the place.
Do you mean like verticals?
Like when you take, I took a picture of my face, like trying to do a selfie with it, which is tricky in itself. But it was all like.
And that wasn't your face.
It wasn't my face.
Oh, okay.
I know. I thought it's gone wrong with my face. Yeah. But it has the vignetting.
Vignette.
I
tried
to say it.
Vignetting.
Vignetting.
Yes.
It's got vignetting.
Yeah.
But so the good thing is, though, it's actually got less than my Viltrox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it has a closer shooting distance, focusing distance to my Viltrox as well. So there's 2 pluses for it. But then the other problem with it, or I turned it into a plus, is has massive amounts of flaring.
Right.
Insane amount. I've never seen so much flaring in my life.
Right, okay.
Compared to the lenses I've got, they don't have any really now.
No.
Modern coating glass. So to see this amount, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But I thought, well, let's use this to advantage.
Yeah.
And I actually shone my light into it and did the little thing, used the
You went all
street lights.
creative?
Yeah. And it actually looks really cool.
So if you want like a really well-priced lens to play around with and try some interesting effects, it might just might interest you.
You can get a unique look with it.
Yeah.
And overall, the image rendition, I found, because of all these lens problems, actually adds to a retro look.
Yeah.
I felt like I was using like an old 51.8D lens that was really cheap, and when I was a student, it has the same kind of feel to it as that, which is kind of nice. It's nostalgic, it's warm. But it does, the sharpness, it is sharp enough. Although you can see this is at minimum focal distance, and it creates a really nice image at 1.4 with lots of things going on. 100%, it's okay. You can see the drops of water, the bokeh balls at the back, they're kind of round if you're into that. Now this is where I've stopped down a bit, and the sharpness really does improve. You can see the veins on the leaf there. Actually quite nice. When I put it on my Z8 or Z6, it doesn't look right to me, because you've got the electronic, everything's electronic and modern design, and you've got a retro looking lens.
Because you're all about the look, aren't you?
I'm all about the look.
To be honest.
It's half the thing with photography, isn't it? How
Such a poser. Well, I've never thought of it like that, but you obviously do.
Yeah, I don't just. It's for me. It's just the manual lens. It's the manual focusing that bothers me the most.
But
it's just.
I mean, there's extremely expensive Leica lenses that are only manual focusing.
True.
And cameras that don't do auto. Expensive Leica cameras and lenses, and people just. Well, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So it's there is a place for these things.
It takes you back to photography. Yeah. Because the Z8 is the opposite. Everything's done for you, more or less. You just have to kind of press a button.
My first camera wasn't even an SLR. It was a rangefinder, and you focused it by lining up the lines in the viewfinder, sort of thing. So obviously, it's no good if you're trying to shoot things that are fast moving and all the rest of it. But it's it's got its place, hasn't it? I don't know whether anybody would be interested in a nice little lens like this at that price. If so, let us know in the comments, or if you never would, let us know that in the comments as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.